All right, so you're thinking about a career in higher education, more than just hitting the books, right? Ever wonder what it takes to keep a whole university running? It's like a mini city with a unique ecosystem of jobs most people never even consider.
Exactly. We often just picture the professors, but there's a hidden network of roles that make the whole academic world function.
And that's our mission today, a deep dive into 40 higher education careers to help you discover some surprising options, maybe even bust some stereotypes along the way. Get ready, because some of these might just make you dust off that old diploma and say, wait, I could do that.
Let's set the stage with some classic roles, the ones we're all familiar with. Take the professor, the image that pops into everyone's head when they think academia. Shaping young minds, diving deep into research, the national average salary sits around $61,000.
But I bet that number can be misleading, right? I mean, a big-name university in New York City probably shells out a lot more than a small college in, say, rural Wyoming.
You're spot on. Location matters a lot, as does the type of institution. A prestigious private university is going to have a very different budget than a state-funded college. And within a university, the department's prestige can also impact salaries. A hotshot business professor might command a higher salary than someone in a less sought-after field.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're seeing salary isn't just about the job title, it's about the whole context. What about another classic role, admissions counselor? I always pictured them sifting through mountains of applications, trying to find the hidden gems. Their average salary is around $43,000. But I bet the real reward is getting to build the next incoming class.
Absolutely. Admissions is more than just checking GPAs and test scores. It's about finding students who will thrive in that specific academic environment, contribute to the campus community, and ultimately become successful alumni. They are shaping the future of the institution, one student at a time.
So we've got our archetypes. The professor focused on knowledge, and the admissions counselor bringing in the new generation. But now, let's switch gears and uncover some of those less obvious roles. You ready to be surprised?
Hit me with it. That's what makes these deep dives so
All right,
fascinating.
how about this? Librarian. Now, I'll admit, I still have that old school image of someone shushing people between towering bookshelves.
Yeah.
But apparently, the modern librarian is practically a tech wizard.
Right. Librarians are at the forefront of information management. Think about it. With the explosion of digital resources, students need guidance more than ever. Librarians curate online databases, teach research skills, and even manage digital archives. They're the gatekeepers to a whole universe of knowledge.
And they make a pretty decent living doing it. Our source says the median salary is around $56,000, which honestly is higher than I expected. Maybe those late fees really add up.
Well, I wouldn't say it's about the late fees, but it does show you that a love of books and information can translate into a solid career. Plus, you're contributing to something really important, helping people navigate the increasingly complex world of information.
Okay, here's a role that speaks to the current focus on building inclusive communities. Diversity and Inclusion Manager. It feels like every university is emphasizing this now. But I'm curious, what does this job actually entail?
It's definitely become a crucial role in recent years, and for good reason. It's not just about hitting diversity quotas. It's about fostering a campus culture where everyone feels valued and respected. That means developing programs, conducting workshops, mediating conflicts, and constantly advocating for a more inclusive environment.
So it's a lot more hands-on than I initially imagined. It's about real action, not just words on a mission statement.
Exactly. This role requires someone who can build bridges between different groups, who understands the complexities of identity and culture, and who can create a space where difficult conversations can happen constructively.
That's really powerful. And now for all the sports fans out there, we've got a role that might surprise you. Student manager. It sounds kind of entry level, but I'm guessing it's way more involved than just fetching water bottles.
Oh, absolutely. Don't let the title fool you. Student managers are deeply embedded in the athletic department. They assist coaches, handle equipment and logistics, even help with scouting reports. It's a fantastic way to learn the ins and outs of college athletics, and it can be a springboard to a career in coaching or athletic administration.
Wow. So you could be rubbing shoulders with future pro athletes and learning from seasoned coaches. Talk about getting a front row seat to the action. Okay, I'm ready for a curveball. Give me a role that really highlights the range of possibilities within a university.
All right, let's go to the top, provost. They're essentially the chief academic officer, second in command to the university president. And the salary reflects that level of responsibility. We're talking an average of $161,000.
Whoa, that's a serious jump from the other salaries we've discussed. What kind of person ends up in a role like that?
The provost is usually someone with a long and distinguished career in academia. They'll likely have a PhD, a strong publication record, and experience in leadership roles within a university. They're responsible for overseeing faculty appointments, managing budgets for academic departments, and shaping the overall academic direction of the institution.
So it's not just about being a brilliant scholar. You also have to be a skilled administrator and a visionary leader. That's a tall order.
It is, and it shows you the incredible range of opportunities within higher education. You can go from working directly with students to managing an entire academic division. It all depends on your interests and aspirations.
We've covered some pretty diverse ground already, and we're just getting started. From the information ninjas in the library to the people shaping campus culture, it's clear there's more to higher education than meets the eye.
And we've only scratched the surface. There are roles for every personality and passion. Think about the energy of college athletics. We touched on student managers, but there are also coaches, athletic trainers, sports marketers, the whole game day crew. It's a world unto itself.
You're right, it's like a whole ecosystem within the university. And what about the folks who keep things running behind the scenes? We saw human resources, registrars, enrollment advisors. They're like the gears that make the whole machine function.
Absolutely. And don't forget the IT professionals ensuring everyone's connected, the financial analysts managing budgets, the facilities staff keeping the campus beautiful and functional. It truly takes a village, or rather, a whole university staff.
Okay, we've zoomed out to see the interconnectedness, but now I want to zoom back in on some more unique roles from our list. This one caught my eye, learning specialist. Intriguing title, but what's the day-to-day look like?
Learning specialists are becoming increasingly crucial. We're recognizing that students learn in diverse ways. Some need extra support to truly thrive. The learning specialist works one-on-one, helping students develop study strategies, time management skills, even addressing learning disabilities.
So, you're not just a tutor, you're almost like a learning coach, helping students unlock their full potential. I imagine that takes a lot of patience and empathy, as well as a deep understanding of how people learn.
Precisely. A background in education or psychology would be valuable, along with strong communication skills. You're constantly interacting with students, faculty, sometimes even parents. It's a multifaceted role.
Okay. This next one piqued my curiosity. Curriculum writer. I always assumed professors created their own course materials. Is that not always the case?
It depends. Some professors love crafting every detail of their syllabi, but increasingly, we're seeing a need for specialized curriculum writers, especially for online courses or large programs that need consistency across multiple instructors.
So, they're taking complex subjects and breaking them down into engaging, digestible modules, designing activities, even writing assessments. That sounds like a blend of teaching expertise and serious writing chops.
Exactly. If you love diving deep into a topic and finding creative ways to present information, this could be a great fit. You're shaping how students engage with the material, which is incredibly impactful.
Yeah. This is making me rethink my whole view of higher education careers.
Yeah.
It's so much more dynamic and multi-layered than I realized.
That's the beauty of it. There are hidden gems everywhere. Roles you might never have considered.
Speaking of hidden gems, let's circle back to the salary conversation. We know there's a huge range, but are there any clues job seekers can look for to gauge if a position might be on the higher end?
It's tricky, as specific salary details usually come later in the application process, but there are some indicators. First, the type of institution. Private universities often have more resources and offer higher salaries than public ones.
Makes sense. What else?
Location plays a role. Universities in major cities, with higher costs of living, tend to offer more competitive salaries to attract talent. Think New York City versus, say, a smaller town in the Midwest.
Okay, so big city, potentially bigger paycheck. Anything else?
The specific department or field can influence salary. STEM fields, like engineering and computer science, often demand higher salaries, even within academia, because those skills are in high demand everywhere.
Right. Universities had to compete with the private sector to attract top talent in those areas. So it's not just about your passion for teaching, it's also about market forces.
Exactly. And of course, experience matters. Entry-level positions will naturally have lower salaries than those requiring years of experience or specialized qualifications. It's about building your expertise and climbing the ladder over time.
So don't get discouraged if that first job offer isn't quite what you dreamed of. It's a stepping stone, a chance to learn and grow within the higher education world.
Precisely. And let's not forget the intangible rewards of working in this environment. Contributing to knowledge, shaping future generations, being surrounded by intellectual stimulation, those are priceless.
It's like you're constantly learning and growing alongside the students. You mentioned earlier that finding the right fit in higher ed is like choosing your major. It's about figuring out what you're passionate about and then seeing how that fits into the bigger picture.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does seem like a different kind of reward system, not just about the paycheck, but about being part of something bigger, contributing to a community of learning and discovery. And let's be honest, there's a certain magic to that campus atmosphere. Walking through historic quads, attending lectures, maybe catching a football game on a crisp autumn afternoon.
Ah, the nostalgia. You're right, though. There's a unique energy to the university environment. It blends intellectual curiosity, youthful enthusiasm, and a sense of tradition that's hard to find anywhere else.
Yeah, so we've explored these 40 higher education careers, busted some stereotypes,
Yeah.
talked money, and even envisioned the university as its own little city.
Yep.
What's the big takeaway for our listener? What do we want them to walk away with?
The most important message is this: don't limit yourself. When you think about a career in higher education, don't just picture the professor at the lectern. There are so many paths you can take, so many ways to contribute to this vibrant and multifaceted world.
And don't get hung up on the salary alone. Of course, it's a factor. But prioritize finding a role that truly sparks your passion, aligns with your skills and interests. When you love what you do, the rewards go far beyond the paycheck.
Absolutely. This deep dive was just a starting point. If something piqued your interest, do your homework. Explore specific job postings. Reach out to people who work in those roles. Get a feel for the day-to-day reality.
Exactly. And if you're serious about exploring higher education careers, a site like academicjobs.com can be a fantastic resource. It's a great way to see what's out there. You never know what hidden gem of a career might be waiting for you.
So to our listener who's considering a leap into the world of higher education, we say this: embrace the possibilities, follow your curiosity, and don't be afraid to chart your own course. The rewards can be truly fulfilling.
And on that inspiring note, we wrap up another deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it really does.
It really does seem like a different kind of reward system,
Mm.
not just about the paycheck, but about being part of something bigger,
Yeah.
contributing to a community of learning and discovery. And let's be honest, there's a certain magic to that campus atmosphere. Walking through historic quads, attending lectures, maybe catching a football game on a crisp autumn afternoon.
Ah, the nostalgia. You're right, though. There's a unique energy to the university environment. It blends intellectual curiosity, youthful enthusiasm, and a sense of tradition that's hard to find anywhere else.
So we've explored these 40 higher education careers, busted some stereotypes, talked money, and even envisioned the university as its own little city. What's the big takeaway for our listener? What do we want them to walk away with?
The most important message is this: don't limit yourself. When you think about a career in higher education, don't just picture the professor at the lectern. There are so many paths you can take, so many ways to contribute to this vibrant and multifaceted world.
And don't get hung up on the salary alone. Of course it's a factor. But prioritize finding a role that truly sparks your passion, aligns with your skills and interests. When you love what you do, the rewards go far beyond the paycheck.
Absolutely. This deep dive was just a starting point. If something piqued your interest, do your homework. Explore specific job postings. Reach out to people who work in those roles. Get a feel for the day-to-day reality.
Exactly. And if you're serious about exploring higher education careers, a site like academicjobs.com can be a fantastic resource. It's a great way to see what's out there. You never know what hidden gem of a career might be waiting for you.
So to our listener who's considering a leap into the world of higher education, we say this: embrace the possibilities, follow your curiosity, and don't be afraid to chart your own course. The rewards can be truly fulfilling.
And on that inspiring note, we wrap up another deep dive. Thanks for joining us.